It looks like Bobby fired it up. It doesn't look like too much has changed since I went over this earlier. Curious to get Bobby's impression on. Well, there's a guy that's showing up a little bit.
Hey, sorry about that. How's it going, man?
It's all right. Yeah, so you know what I forgot to do? It's so funny. I did all these other things. I forgot to do the NFL preview for Sunday.
Oh, I know. And dude, it's been so hectic out here. I'm gonna try and get something out tomorrow.
Yeah, and I did the cheats too. I was doing so many other things. I did all the basketball slates and the hockey and the showdown and all this stuff. I just forgot to do football. It was really funny. Yeah, so I mean, I went over some of this earlier. Nothing looks to me like it's changed so much. So I'm curious to get your take on what you like here. What are you thinking?
So I like I mean, if you're going to use pieces for value, which it's very thin today, obviously value-wise, did not hit the Black Friday sale like it's supposed to. But anyway, no, it's because it's so thin on value. I think that there's a perception that you have to get a little uncomfortable to play like two amazing plays in like Giannis and Jokic, who are going to be really low owned tonight. And I actually think that's a reasonable way to go. I've gone more balanced builds a lot this year. But I like the idea. I think this is like you can get 150 from those two guys. It's completely on the table, and I think that's how you play it. You try and get 7 guys to make up another. Well, I think tonight you probably want another 200 or so. So it's tough to get to that with the other 7 spots you have, or the other 6 spots you have. But maybe 180 would be enough to do it. But that's sort of the way that I'm looking at it. I think you just have two incredible plays at incredibly low ownership because of it. And in order to do that, I like using some of the look. I'm going to play Trey Lyles. I was onto it the other day before he played a game. I said that he's going to get the minutes. He got in foul trouble. He might even had a bigger game. But I'll take that value. I'm not quite as sure on the Buddy Hield just because it's so shooting dependent at this ownership. I think it's probably better to usually fade that. But he has been good lately, and I didn't get to Hield in Middleton. I'm not really playing much tonight because I've got a birthday thing to go to in a little bit. But Naz Reid, Caleb Martin, or Josh Richardson, it's uncomfortable plays. But if you can get 20s out of those guys, I think that there's upside for Jaden Ivey to have 30 plus potentially here. I think there's upside for 35 plus possibility from Jabari Smith. Using those mid tiers with the low Trey Lyles and Naz Reid, you can play Giannis and Jokic together even. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but that's what I chose to do.
Yeah. So first of all, congrats to TJ for chopping the showdown there.
Oh, nice. Oh no, it was only $720. That's too bad.
Hey, $720 more than I made.
Hey, nice though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I it's funny because I was examining 2 different ways to play. One was like the Trey Lyles with Giannis thing. I didn't even think about playing Jokic. That's the funniest thing. But because I never even conceived that you can get them both in. I guess I'd have to look at it.
It's a little thin. You're using the guys I mentioned, but it's doable, I think.
And you're using the Cam Alexander Walker probably also.
Yep.
If you do that. And the other way I was going to play was just to play none of them. And the linchpin for that is Cade Cunningham, as far as I'm concerned. You can't play him with the 2 studs, obviously. But if you're not going to play the 2 studs, I really like him a lot, and I like Anthony Edwards a lot from Minnesota. So that's if I didn't want to play the studs, that's the way I would go, and then maybe like a Sengun or
yeah, I think that's the way everyone's going to go. I think that's the cash build. I think that's what 90, 95. Because
I have Sengun at 12% ownership right now.
Yeah, but I mean, Jokic and I don't think anybody's actually building with Jokic and Giannis together.
No, but I think what people are doing is playing Giannis and Lyles.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's
yeah.
And if you play Sengun at center and don't play Lyles, for example, then that's another way to play. I was hoping something else would show up, but doesn't look like. I do see Jaden Ivey like 20%. Seems a little frothy as far as the ownership goes, but yeah. Did you mention Kyle Anderson? Was that
Kyle Anderson? Yeah.
Caleb Martin, you mentioned.
Yep. Naz Reid.
Naz Reid. Yeah, I guess you can do it. I trust you. I didn't think about it, but I guess you can. And Josh Richardson. Yep, those are the guys.
Yeah.
Those are the guys.
It's a little, it's like, it's not ideal.
Has that won this year? Something like that? I mean, like.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me whether it has one.
Oh, I know.
This proves to me that people aren't doing it, maybe. You know what I mean? Right. We've seen Jokic, get 80 many times at or 70, 75 plus at many times at, 2 or 3% ownership. So he may not be in the winning lineup. Doesn't mean that he's not optimal.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I look. That's just I'm not playing much. I kind of like going with it. I love Giannis in this matchup, and I still think he's going to be around 10-15%. I don't think he's going to be like crazy high owned at all.
I got him at like 14. That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. And Jokic will be what, 2 or 3?
I have him at about 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you do those two together, you don't really need to do that much else to get different.
No, you just got to be right on the other ones.
Right, and that's obviously high variance, and you know what you can do, because like the build I was trying to do it with ended up with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kyle Anderson, and Naz Reid, and I don't think you want to do that. I think you have to try to avoid combining those 3 guys. They all completely cut into each other.
A couple of differences on FanDuel, and I talked about this for a little bit, but Hield still looks the same over there. Middleton looks the same over there, but Bruce Brown over on FanDuel looks a little bit better. Conley shows up over there. Walker looks good, but also, and I talked about this during the old other stream, is Klay Thompson is 5,400, and I know that like he's not typically a FanDuel type of play because he's a 3-point shooter, but that's got to be factored into projections somewhat. Is he really going to be like a full 25% owned over there? I just don't know if people are really going to do that. But then again, the ownership projections have been pretty tight, so I don't know what to think.
And he's finally looking good. Like, and it's a good matchup, so I think he will be owned.
Okay. I kind of want the other guys that I kind of want to try. Again, this is kind of recency bias, but he seems to be playing the minutes. Is Reggie Jackson?
Drew DFS NHL projections have been updated. They should be available on SaberSim in a few minutes.
Yeah, the Reggie Jackson and the other guy over there, or James Harden again. I wouldn't mind playing him either, but he's going to be owned over there. So Buddy Hield, I'm getting a 60% ownership projection on FanDuel.
That's just I don't care what he puts up. I just think that's crazy.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, like this is exactly the type of player that you're supposed to fade at that ownership, right? I mean, yeah.
I mean, he went his last 2 games from 3. He went 7 for 12 and 6 for 6.
And that can happen, but that doesn't mean it's likely to happen. I mean,
and in the game where he was 6 for 6, he only had 30 fantasy points.
Right.
These are warning signs. They're telling you right now, like, it doesn't matter whether you're right tonight. This is the overall 20% for Klay or 20% even for Hield I can get behind. Once you get above 50%, it's just nope, not doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me see what's. I'm just kind of doing this kind of off the cuff here. Like anything in? I guess not the Toronto game. I know I was getting some Siakam in some tries. If I played, it's the same guys. It's the same guys as before, and I really don't want to play Buddy Hield. That I'm kind of with you on that.
On FanDuel especially, because at least on DraftKings he's going to give himself a shooting chance all the time, But like, I just don't get the FanDuel that ownership. Like,
and Chris Middleton at high ownership too. I don't know.
Are you supposed to on 8-game slates he played? Like that's the thing. It's not like we have other great options in these price ranges. The thing about Middleton that might be a little bit of a better play is that he did play 29 minutes finally. He played that, even though I think it was
finally, right?
Yeah, but so he hadn't played over 23 all year until that. I don't think he's gonna. This is the kind of game where you're gonna see him like have to go out, but maybe he just gets hot right away. Like, but at the same time, do you want to play the hot right away guys at these ownerships? I personally would rather not do that. But look, I mean, I'm also the guy talking about playing, really thin value plays like, well, I mean, Trey Lyles even there's definitely some flex, there's some flux there, but like it does seem like the kind of matchup where you're going to see him out there for 24-ish minutes. Naz Reid, there's obviously like a range of outcomes where he's not, where he's a bad play, like same with Caleb Martin. But those guys at least like being in the 20s and being cheap, I can get behind more than I can be like a super chalky guy in like the high 5Ks. With one with it has to be hot to get there, and one with a sort of a unofficial like questioning of a minutes limit. We don't have an official word. We're just assuming he can play as many minutes as he played in the last game, but I don't think that they're going to need to overextend themselves against Washington at home. I don't know.
If you played Giannis also, you might, if you get Kuzma in, that would be nice.
Why is Jabari Smith? So the reason why Jabari Smith will be so much lower owned is because there's better plays at power forward than there are at the other positions. But Jabari Smith, why wouldn't he be the same ownership as Buddy Hield or Chris Middleton? Why at the same price?
I will say this: Jabari Smith will be 0.01% higher owned because of me.
Yes,
that I promise you, because he's currently in my big buy.
Love to hear it.
He is currently. I would. Oh boy, I'm a little off as far as my build, as far as my numbers go here. I don't really want to play. Actually, I should play Trey Lyles. I got all these upside guys. You know how I love to do it. I love just to not play the cheapos and not play the studs and just try to hope that all the 7,500 and 6K guys get there. It's hard. It's hard for them to get there. But if I have a Sengun, Jabari Smith, and then like Reggie Jackson, sort of, like that could do something.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
You like Alexander Walker today? Yeah,
he's fine, but I wanted to throw out another guy like who I don't think people maybe they're just not up on it right now. But is Obi Toppin like maybe just completely overlooked? Yes, it's just kind of interesting that he's looked a lot different and a lot better lately. And he played 36, 33, then 16, then 36. But that 16 was a game they got blown out in, where they didn't play any of their starters much. And I just think that maybe we should start looking at Toppin more as a little bit better of a play, than people are giving him credit for at 4,900. Look, it's a little thin maybe, but I'm just looking for other things to spend money on. I'm just spending to go cheap on.
Who's 6? Oh, I could play Clay at 6K on DraftKings. Oh man. And a newbie.
I like the Clay play for what it's worth.
Who?
I actually think I like the Clay play on DraftKings. I don't think he'll be owned, but I don't think he's getting that much ownership, right?
No. They'll play him on FanDuel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think this is what it's going to be. Oh my God! If I get away with this, you're going to be my hero. Because one of your aforementioned guys just slid right into a freaking price range.
Yeah,
man, you literally, I will literally be wearing the Bobby Fi hat if this wins.
All right, let's go then.
Bobby gets the complete.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you get this one. But wait, if I put him here, then I could swap. No, it's same time. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Once the slate locks, I'll tell you what it is. I can't even say what it is.
Okay.
Can't even say what it is. But it's I'll put it this way. We've said all the players that's in my big buy-in. We've said them all in the past like 5 minutes. To say, in some degree. Maybe less 9 minutes.
All right.
And I will give you guys a hint, and you guys should know this by now. None of them are Giannis or Jokic. So we shall see.
You figured that. I figured that right.
I think in my NMEs, I'll probably try to get those guys.
Yeah.
Let me see what FanDuel would look like. Yeah, FanDuel, I probably will have to play. I won't have to, but maybe I'll play almost a hedge. Maybe I'll play like some like a Giannis, like Kuzma thing to start off with there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For what it's worth, I think Indiana's going to kill Detroit tonight. I think that there's some blowout potential for like another thin value play to add on to the other ones is TJ McConnell.
You like Chris Paul today at all?
I think that it makes sense, like on paper, just because he sort of always, it's not the highest ceiling, but like I think it's fine. Yeah, I think he's not like he's getting crazy ownership, but he's going to be owned.
What other centers do we like on FanDuel? I'm looking at FanDuel now.
Somebody up for Washington? I just missed something. Did I miss something? I feel like all the Washington players' projections just shot up. Maybe let me double check.
What are you asking? Giannis or Halliburton straight up? I would say Giannis.
Yeah, I think when we start having that kind, and I'm the biggest Halliburton fan. I don't even think they're going to be that far off necessarily, always for total fantasy points. But Halliburton in sort of a weirdish like matchup, like even though it's not a bad matchup, there is some blowout risk. And while there is for Giannis, you just have one of the three nut matchups in basketball when you're playing Washington. Giannis just put up 73 against them the other day. So I would go Giannis personally. And I think that's just in general going to be the right answer. And I love the Halliburton's in that conversation now, but let's not, it's a lot easier for Giannis to get 75, I think, than it is Halliburton, but I think they both can. So both, I like both of them, but I'm going Giannis.
I asked you about Chris Paul.
Yeah, I'm just medium. If Detroit does stay close, by the way, Cade Cunningham is probably the best like mid-tier spend. I think he's going to be popular, but I think he's a terrific mid-tier spend.
Yeah. Harden, I'd love to play Harden over there. You like Miles Turner?
Not especially. It's not a good matchup, really. Like the one thing he has, I haven't seen him play really much against Duren, but like Duren's a really good, guy. He's like one of the best rebounders in the NBA. And but he may not like to come out, so I haven't looked enough into that yet to figure that out. But I think he's fine as a tournament dart.
One of the centers.
He's fine.
You like Durant tonight, maybe or no?
I actually think I think that he's another one. Just I use the Lyles spot. Then you get into Gafford and him and. I don't know, potentially some other guys. I heard a little talk about Vooch earlier. I did not really crazy about it, but I don't mind, I am kind of confused. It seems like people just sort of got tired of playing guys from Toronto, and I know Gary Trent's back, but like I wouldn't mind continuing to take some Toronto guys in general. If I was going to do a different type of build today, like I think that going either Siakam or Scotty Barnes at really low ownership is a good idea. It's interesting that Scotty Barnes' ownership tonight is so much lower than Anthony Edwards when he averages like 6 fantasy points more than Edwards basically. Or I don't know, a few more at least. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but that's kind of interesting.
All right, just for fun, I'm going to build. I'll share my screen. I'll do a SaberSim build with current projections and see what we get. Let me share my screen. And NBA will upload projections. No, there's no news that happened in the last 5 seconds.
I haven't got anything new in.
Neesmith and Koulibaly are out. We all know that.
I knew Neesmith. That was what I was trying to figure out was the Koulibaly one, because I did notice the Washington guys' projections, especially Gafford and Avdia's, jumped up a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. I think they got Gafford and Avdia will both have pretty good projections, and actually I think they might now be like.
They might be like I might have to redo this. Is what you're saying?
Well, they're right now showing up as the 3rd and 4th best point per dollar plays.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's not like you're talking about like 4 points higher than what they were earlier.
Yeah, but that's a lot.
That's enough to make a difference. Yeah.
Well, let's just see what it looks like. Well, this is kind of silly then, but let's just do it anyway. So Koulibaly's out. Then who's gonna get that? Avdia, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the thinking is that it more solidifies that sometimes they've played small and taken Gafford out and played at Koulibaly, and other times they've subs, to make sure to get they make sure to give Koulibaly his minutes, so he gets some split from both those guys, and even Kuzma and Pools probably see a tiny bit of a boost because they might play an extra 2 to 3 minutes.
Well, let's do this. How about let's go back. We'll rebuild this, but let's just change the projections for that team to the Washington ones. Let's see. So did they upgrade these? Yeah, they did. So let's upgrade all the Washingtons. Anthony Gill's getting a projection. Landry Shamet. Yeah, Gafford is the one who. Yeah, I'll probably have to redo all these. Crap. Well, if we did that, let's run this again and see. I'll just see with the new projections what just at least SaberSims, like whether these Washington guys are going to get in out of the lineups. If so, I'll probably just have to redo I have to redo them anyway, probably.
Shoot.
That's all right. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Mm-hmm. So, did you look at the NFL at all?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't had any. Like I don't know how I've survived this long with this big of a family. It's crazy. It's such overwhelmingness. It's pretty fun, but it's also like it's just nonstop things happening.
Really?
Because there's just so many people in town, and like everybody's back, and a lot of us haven't seen each other much.
And where did you have it? Up in the main house or whatever?
Yeah, our family has a property up there, and then we have put a big tent outside and.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks as though it would be all this Gafford. Yeah, Gafford and Abdia would be the second and third highest owned players, just on the SaberSim run. So what all that means to me is I want to redo the projection.
Do you want to know one thing everybody could do just to get a little bit different on this slate? Let me just make sure that I'm right about this. If you want to get weird with it, and it would not be going based on recent trends, what about playing Matherin instead of Buddy Hield?
I have no problem with that at all.
At 100% ownership, nobody's playing him.
Well, I will say this now that my lineup is probably going to change. I will tell you that it did have the aforementioned Obi Toppin. But I don't think I don't know. This Washington thing might.
Just beware with the Washington thing that there is some definite blowout risk in that game.
I mean,
this is one of the biggest spreads of the year. It might be the biggest spread. Well,
I don't know. I think Milwaukee can hang with them. We'll see.
I mean, Washington was beating the hell out of them at the beginning of the last one.
Maybe that meanwhile, we called that with the Miami thing the other night. Remember?
Which one was that?
We thought that Miami was going to get blown out. You're like, oh, Miami, like they're very pesky, and I think they went outright or something like that.
Oh yeah. I got my other bet in yesterday. I had the Packers to win outright.
Yeah, that cost me billions and billions in Survivor.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No, you didn't know.
I had no idea.
Yeah, the Jets were at there. That's a tough scene over there with their offense today.
It's so brutal.
It is a tough scene.
It might be the biggest gap between an offense and a defense like ever. Because it's got to be one of the worst offenses of all time. It can't get much worse than this.
What about between the Giants and the Jets, the two of them? I mean, like.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous. But the Giants at least showed some life. DeVito, this DeVito character is going to win somebody.
He's going to win the MVP. Did Roto Grinders change their Washington stuff? I hope so.
Let's see. I might get in trouble for showing their screen, though.
No, they don't care.
Really?
Yeah. They don't care.
Oh, nice.
I just announced that. They don't care. Washington, that's a How's Tyus Jones been doing this year?
So they haven't really let him with everybody in Washington. They haven't mostly let them play tons of minutes, but seems to be changing a little bit more where the minutes are there. But it's just not really been what you would have hoped for. But I think he's an interesting tournament play.
I will tell you that
hasn't really shown the ceiling to us. Sorry, go ahead, Chiefs.
I will tell you this Cade Cunningham could be a good play because with the no defense that the Globetrotters are playing on the other side, Indiana, whatever, it's like it'll mask some of like Cade Cunningham's kind of shooting deficiencies. I mean, because he'll like get to the rim, you know what I mean, like get easier shots and stuff.
Yeah,
and I don't fall into a lot of probably steals and other stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Boy, talk about a team that just doesn't have anybody that can shoot. I mean, their only shooter is Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, right.
All of these guys are like sub 20, like they're horrible from three. Although Cade's starting to look a little bit better lately.
What happened to Hamidou Diallo? Is he still on the team?
I mean, he's not a real thing.
No, I'm just asking. I mean,
yeah, he was sort of bounced around. No, they've got. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Like Kevin Knox was a thing a couple. Now he gets a DNP.
Oh yeah, what happened with that?
Because there was no reason for it. They were trying to find him and make him into something, basically. But he might. I don't know. He's still only 21 or 22. He might be.
Yeah, but seriously, how do you have like nobody that can shoot?
I don't know. It's really weird in the modern NBA too.
Gafford.
Do you know who's a good play is Jaime Jaquez?
Who?
Jaquez.
Oh, Triple J?
Triple Junior.
Okay.
They're both juniors though. It's just I don't know how to do it. UCLA Triple J, we could say, instead of MSU Triple J. Thoughts on having Middleton, Giannis in lineup? I thought about it, Brandon. I think it's fine because the matchup is so good. I'm not quite as high on Middleton as everyone else is, and it's probably just because of the ownership. And I still don't know that we can just assume 29 minutes going forward. That's my answer, I guess, is it's okay, but I would try to avoid it if you're entering multiple lineups and have them separated. But not a huge thing. Any issue with Middleton and Giannis the other sheets?
Yeah. I'd rather not.
Yeah. Maybe at that point, if you were going to, you'd start thinking about a run back or something.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta get. Sorry, go ahead, Chiefs.
Even still, I mean, the thing is that you have. I mean, there's Lillard still on the team too, right? I mean, like.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's hard that team right now. I mean, I would play Giannis if you know what I mean, but I don't know if I'm gonna do Middleton. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to head out in a few minutes. I've got a friend's birthday, as I mentioned. Crazy weekend continues and goes on for basically another week. But I'll be back and fully functional on Sunday for sure.
Yeah, I'm around. I'll be around Sunday. I'm gonna. You can leave this running. I mean, I'm just talking through this.
All right. Well, have a good night, man. Happy Thanksgiving, Sheets, and everybody out there. And I'll see you guys shortly.
Yeah, leave this running, and I will just kind of. I'll kind of just screw around here and build some lineups, I guess. Let's unshare for now, but let me, because I want to run the projections first. It's kind of so hard to do this, I'm trying to play and upload the projection to the site and then also talk to you guys, but I'm going to do the best that I can here. I wouldn't do this, but you know what? The Washington news really is important. So it's just kind of important to update all this stuff. When I just did the sample run, I was getting just all this Washington, so it's important to upload it. If I didn't, I would just be doing you guys a disservice. So sorry if the content right now is going to suffer, but the information is pretty important right now. All right, so this stuff will be up in about 2 minutes, probably. And then I'll show you guys what it is, and then I'll build. Let me just make sure this is right. Hang on. Okay. So DraftKings is done. So one thing about football that's going to be interesting is whether Jameis Winston plays. I don't know if he's going to be playing or not, but at 4,900, it's weird because like the fantasy community just loves just pretending they want to play Jameis Winston. And I don't know, now that they actually might have a chance, are they actually going to? I mean, whenever Jameis Winston is not playing, people complain that, well, why don't they have Jameis Winston? And now that they might actually have Jameis Winston, I don't know if they're actually going to play him after all that. We'll see. Okay. Just so you know, the hockey lineups are updated. They're already up there. I'm going to do those builds in a minute. Let me just make sure that these projections look right before I upload them. Then I'll actually show you guys what they are. Let's see. Yeah, this Washington's look pretty good. They look like I have to play them though. Oh, this is really interesting. Let me just double check this. Let me double check my DraftKings stuff here because something doesn't mix. No, it's actually not bad. So okay, this is good. You're not going to have to play, I don't think, the Washington guys, which is good. I'm going to upload all this to the site first, but I'm glad I did it. And we are at odds with SaberSim a little bit because SaberSim projections really, really like them, but my stuff is like it's not that I don't like them. It's just it's not quite as overwhelming. All right, so I will show you like what it looks like now. You don't remember what it looked like before, I guess, but so now point per dollar, like these Washington guys are like here, but it's not like they're up here. So you don't really have to play them if you don't want to. But just to show you, I am going to run a build again and see what this is. And I think I'm going to keep by the way, I think I'm going to keep that big buy-in the way it was. I think it's pretty cool play by Bobby Toppin. Let's see. All right, so let's upload the projections here. Okay, and we will run these like so. And just so you know what we're going to do, we're going to do the DraftKings one, then we're going to do the FanDuel one. And then for those of you who are still interested, I will do my hockey, and that'll be probably like at 7:15. So I will be done with the NBA in about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. As we're doing that, I'm going to pull up my FanDuel, the new FanDuel sheets, and see what those look like. NBA, FanDuel. FanDuel looks sort of, let's see if it looks any different. Yeah, I mean, Tyus and Kuzma kind of sneak in there. All right, that's interesting. I might redo FanDuel. All right, so what I'm going to do tonight with my MME is I think I'm going to do the contest sims, but we'll see. Let's take a look. So right now, I got some Avdia. It's pretty normal type builds here. So if we made min uniques even 3, this is actually not bad. Bunch of Trey Lyles. It is getting the healed Giannis, Chris Paul, Middleton, Cade Cunningham. Yeah, so this I guess this sort of makes sense. But let's just see if I ran the contest sims, what that would look like. I'm running the fadeaway and the alley-oop. And this is one thing I like to do. I like to see if there's a big difference. Now, Avdia is going to be probably higher owned than 6%. I imagine. Boy, Chris Middleton, 35%. Is that actual? Buddy Hield, 51%. That is so much for a shooting dependent dude. I don't know. Let's just see what I get here. And you can watch me struggle over this. Almost done. Okay, so I like to use the risk-adjusted ROI and still getting the same types of guys, so I may as well just keep it this way. All right, that's fine. I've tried my best to do something different, and I have failed. Let's just see what the alley-oop would look like, by the way. It's pretty close. That would be getting me Rudy Gobert, which I don't think I want. We'll put it in for now, but I'm going to change that. I think I'm going to go back to what I wanted to do before, if I remember. All right, so we'll download these. And so it's basically the same type of stuff that we had before. Now we'll go up here, edit entries. I forgot I played Yahoo too, so we have to do that pretty quickly. Okay, so DraftKings is done. FanDuel, let's go into that. Not the all-day slate. We want the main. I like the tweaks we made. I think we're in good shape here to just build. All right, so we will upload FanDuel. Okay. Still don't know why I have this create new source thing. But okay, so let's rebuild lineups. I think I want to get to the Harden thing. Let's just see what we get here. Then I thought of Wembanyama maybe as a play. Okay, finalizing lineups. Let's see what we get in FanDuel. And I definitely want to play like a minimum of 3 uniques over there. And again, we don't need to do any duplication problems, a full slate. So we don't need to do any geomean filterings. If you guys have any questions about that, obviously let me know. So we're getting, again, Hield, Bruce Brown over here, as I mentioned earlier. You are getting some Middleton and Giannis over here. I'm not going to fight it if you want to know the truth, but let's use the contest sims and hope that we get a little less of those lineups. This Aaron Gordon is really showing up quite a bit. And Miles Turner, as I mentioned earlier, is showing up quite a bit on FanDuel. Oh, it's the 201? JJJ? There's quite a bit of variance of the defenses in that game. It wasn't just the Jet one, right? And what about that? Oh, you mean the Hail Mary one? Which pick six? You mean the Hail Mary one or the one where the Jets got off a Tua? They were all pretty harsh. What's going on here? Okay, and the shot. Okay, this all looks pretty good. Hield, Thompson, Kuzma. Get more Kuzma over here, which is what I like. Oh, the Hail Mary. That was just completely absurd. I mean, it was just a fluke. It was not a big deal, but I mean, still. And then we'll put the let's see, what does the monster look like over there now? It does get the Reggie Jackson in there, which is what I wanted. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. I actually want this one in the monster. Okay, and this is going to be the least exciting thing we're going to do. We're going to do the Yahoo in a second. Again, all I promise you is I'm going to share with you what I'm doing. So I'm playing Yahoo. I did my projections over there, and it's really not much for first, but, you know, again, just the more practice, the better. And we will upload the FanDuels. We'll take a look at Yahoo and see what the differences over there are. Okay, Yahoo. 8 games, 707. Oh, I thought I said we would be finished with the NBA by 7:15. All right, this looks pretty good. Right, so we will upload the Yahoos over here. NBA, Yahoo, boom. Builds. I think we're just playing 30 over here. Let's see if there's any difference over here. Yeah, Bobby liked him. I just really wasn't getting to any of them. He doesn't show up. I mean, doesn't show up too much in my projections, and I can't think of any reason to just override him. So not for me. But I know. But listen, Bobby liked him a little bit before, so you could play him, and then if he wins, then you could praise Bobby, and if he loses, I'll give you Bobby's home phone number. You could call him and wake him in the middle of the night and tell him that he cost you money. That's usually what I like to do. Okay. Yahoo. What am I getting? A lot of Giannis. Okay. Did I even do the contest sims here? I didn't even. So that's okay. We're gonna just do this. We're gonna save these to the contest. So here on Yahoo, it's actually gonna be more Caleb Martin, more Chris Paul, more Dario Saric. All right, so that's good. It actually So one of the things that I want to work on, by the way, guys, is a tool to really do portfolio management across all the sites, meaning that to really figure out how much exposure you have across all sites and all your players, because that's the way you really should be looking at it. And there's very few ways to do that. So I'm going to work on that one of these days. Yahoo, upload, good. 709, done with NBA. Very good. Is that right? No, because I still have to do my big buy-ins. I'll do that when I'm done with the hockey. So with hockey, again, I already updated the projections. I'm talking this through because I just have to make sure I actually, I have to make sure that I didn't forget myself. So that's why I'm talking through all this stuff myself. So I did update the projections. So everything is current. There was a guy out. So we've accommodated that. We'll upload these. And as these are uploading, we'll take a quick look and see what we should be getting as far as hockey goes. Okay, build lineups. So with hockey, if I just look here, I imagine Dallas, Colorado, the Seattle guy is a good-looking cheapo. Carolina, maybe I would get to. Dallas. And then I also have a stack view, which I'll pull up. This is as SaberSim is running it. As far as stacks go, and this is on the site as well, if I sort by modified, Colorado, definitely the top. Then there's Ottawa, Dallas, and then if I sort by value, then it's Seattle. So Seattle, Dallas, that would be what I would guess I would be getting. So let's see. Here we're getting actually, well, as far as teams, Colorado and Ottawa is fine, but I want to get rid of these kind of, non-pure stacks. I want to get rid of the 2 2s and the 3 2s and all this stuff. And it is a little concerning that I'm getting so many of those. But let's get rid of them. And we'll only play 5 2s, 4 3s, and 6s. A couple of these we'll get rid of. And then we'll see. This is what I actually enjoy. Then I want to see if that changes the distribution of stacks. So now if I look at team stacks, still like 87% Colorado. So it's a question, do I want to do that? I don't know. What I want to do now is I want to run, first of all, I want to do min uniques 3, see if that helps. Still get all kinds of Colorado. And then I want to run my contest sims. And this is sort of biased, right? I didn't like getting 87% Colorado, so what I'm doing now is artificially changing, not artificially, but changing views until I get the one that I want. Because for whatever reason, 81% Colorado just doesn't sit well with me. So I'm just going to find the right lineup build or the right construct to justify what I want to do. And that's probably a really bad way to play. I'm probably supposed to just take the 77% Colorado, but let's just see what this looks like. So kick save, now it evens out a little bit. So Colorado, Ottawa, Minnesota. So do as I say, not as I do. You probably shouldn't be doing this, but I kind of like this idea. So this does make sense. We are getting, a good portfolio of lineups. I don't need this 2x2x2x2, so let's get rid of that one. But everything else is fine. So we'll save these to the kick save. Boom. And then we will look at the top shelf. See what that looks like. This is where you get all the Colorado and a couple of these guys. All right, I could do this one. This one just overwhelming Colorado stack. Or maybe this one's a little better. The 4-3 with the one man over there. Or maybe the Seattle one. We could jam Colorado here just on principle. So we'll put that one into the top shelf. On the road, that's tough. Okay, let's do it. And down we go. And we should be in good shape. We're not playing FanDuel hockey. So that should be pretty much the deal. The only other thing I want to do is I want to go through the big buy-in again. I want to see if I want to play this on DraftKings. See, this is what I have now, and I think this is a little chalky. I just want to see what this would look like if I wanted to be really, really saucy here. So I'd pull this up, and again, like I didn't want to go the Giannis Lyles route, and I didn't want to play Buddy Hield. I want to do like Cunningham and Edwards and like Sengun. Like these are the guys I really want to play. So if we played Cunningham, Sengun, and the other one, right? We wanted to play Reggie Jackson. We play the Reggie Jackson and the Jabari Smith and the Obi Toppin, right? Remember that? Jabari Smith Jr. And then we could play Lyles just for value, but then you get Sengun up over here. And then we run it back with we have the Reggie Jackson. And then we could do even something cooler. Like I don't want to play Buddy Hield. I just don't. Oh, the Anthony Edwards. That's the one I wanted to do if I could afford it. All right, so can I get this in? Yeah, I mean, 54.50 a man. I could really probably play Buddy Hield here if I want. I got 10,900 left. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can do here to make this work. I mean, I could. Why am I so stubborn? I could play Middleton, right? Or Hield, like one or the other. And this is where I was getting to White, right? So here I could go to Ivy and stack that game. Oh, this is pretty cool, actually, if I can get this done. Oh, he's forward. But I can make Edwards here. So I could play both Cunningham and Ivy. Oh, but what he was suggesting was the Toppin, right? Boy, oh boy. If I get away with this, I mean, I'm a freaking hero, right? He's playing 34 minutes a game now. I mean, it's going to be a fast-paced game. And I have a little run back here. Boy, oh boy. All right, we're going to do it. God bless me. As long as I'm doing that, may as well do the big buy-in here too. Highest entry fees on FanDuel. This we're going to keep this one the way it was from before. With the Giannis and the Kuzma, I like that. I like the Miles Turner, Bruce Brown, Clay. Well, that was the one that I was going to do on DraftKings, but we're not going to. All right. Let's go Reggie Jackson. Let's go Cade Cunningham for sure. And that should do it. All right. I don't know what I'm going to be putting up tomorrow, but definitely we'll see you